Kim, you thought you were going to escape the top 10, but I've pinned you down for your top 10 questions. So are you ready?
As ready as I'll ever be.
So, question number 1, your first experience of greyhound racing.
Well, that would be Blackpool. My dad had dogs at Blackpool. We used to go, and then he decided he was going to get a few himself. As a young girl, sort of 10, 11 years of age, first sort of time to the track, and then we had greyhounds and walking them on for my dad at Blackpool, so we actually got to take part in it at a very early age.
And you've loved it ever since?
Absolutely, yeah.
Second question, change of topic. Your favourite song of all time?
Brown Eyed Girl by Van Morrison. There's something that somebody once said to me many years ago, and so I've even got it as the ringtone on my phone.
Good answer. A linked question for question 3. Some might say it's 2 questions in one, but your best greyhound ever, your favourite greyhound ever, and your best greyhound race ever?
Well, I'd have to say, and both for sort of similar reasons, El Tenor, because I was very much involved with him, the best hurdler of all time, won the most open races of all time, 102 open races, never been beaten. And myself and Jim Austin of the Racing Post actually wrote a book about him. So for that, I was very fond of him, very, very sad when he passed away at a young age. Teddy, as he was known, liked a cheeseburger in the restaurant at the same time after he'd finished racing, and he knew when he'd won. And my favourite race, did you say?
Yeah.
I think the second derby that Westmead Hawk won, it was just breathtaking.
Okay. I don't think I've ever known you take a holiday, but your perfect holiday destination?
I love Tenerife. Absolutely love it. I've been to Florida and I loved it there as well, and I did actually manage to go and visit a greyhound track while I was out there. But generally I love Tenerife.
You're obviously actively involved in the Star Sports Greyhound Derby for several years now. Your sort of favourite Greyhound Derby related memory?
I think, to be honest, it was probably the most recent one with Liam Dowling. He's been trying so hard for so many years to win the English Derby, and the look on his face when he threw his jacket in the air, it literally brought a tear to the eye. It was just that you saw how much it meant to him.
Favourite sport outside of greyhound racing?
Horse racing. We used to have little bets with my dad when we were young. He used to win all our pocket money off us on the Grand National or at Cheltenham, and that kind of the sport that I think they kind of interlink anyway to a degree, horse racing and greyhound racing.
Definitely. And I'm going to ask you to have a crystal ball now and look ahead 10 years in the future. How do you see the world of greyhound racing in 10 years' time?
I think it's going to be quite different to how it is now. Probably more streamlined. I would like to see it grown in terms of that there's a better deal across the board for everyone. But I think it will, because of how the media rights run currently, I think that's going to need sort of some looking into to make sure it's fair across the board for everybody, but done in a way that attracts both punters and is favourable to the tracks.
You were also a runner-up in the Racing Post Betting Shop Manager of the Year competition, beating a short head, I'm sure. How does your knowledge of greyhound racing from a betting shop perspective influence the decisions you now make in terms of the courses and the other side, the operational side?
I think you actually see from a punter's perspective and what they're looking for in terms of content. So they're looking for variety, they're looking for different angles to bet on. And greyhound stadiums can offer that because they race distances, race grades. So you kind of get a better understanding of what a punter looks for and also what the tracks can provide.
Another area, Kim, that you've been very active in is that of rehoming greyhounds, obviously a very important part of the industry. Tell us a little bit more about your involvement in that side and where we are with rehoming greyhounds? Is there still more work to be done? Is it improved from what it has been in the past?
It's definitely improved in terms of traceability of the greyhounds, and there is still more work to be done. There's always going to be more work to be done, but I think we're more accountable than we ever were. Greyhounds are much easier to find. There's a fantastic little group on Facebook called Your Greyhound's History, where they will help an adopter find out a little bit more about their racing history. So we're giving a better option to adopters than we were before. And fundraising, again, massive, and it's something we're keen to put in place here, is fundraising for the local homing centres.
Great, and we'll leave on a lighter note. Your funniest moment in greyhound racing?
Ooh. Well, something, and I think you might have been there, David, when it happened. One of the derbies, we had the giant boards, and I think it was the first time we'd used the giant boards for the trap draws. Only we put the Velcro on the wrong way round. Not thought about how it connected, and we came to put them up and they all fell off, and we had to sort of do a quick fix DIY job with a bit of sellotape, but it was all great fun. We got there in the end and the draw took place. That was the main thing.
Yes, I was there, but I should add that I was not responsible for the Velcro.
No, you weren't. I was. I hold my hands up.
Thanks, Kim.
Thank you.